Hello photography fans, and welcome to another episode about classic cameras and classic photo gear. There's a special camera that I've wanted to have for quite a long time. I probably won't get much use out of it, but I still wanted it. In my eyes, it's considered very classic, but the prices for the collector grade were extremely high, and I just didn't see myself paying $300, $400, $500 for that particular camera. Anyways, without further ado, let me introduce you to today's subject: Graflex Fingerprint camera. Here it is. It is a rare to find camera. I've seen several of these on eBay, but not in numbers that would compare with other popular cameras. This camera was introduced, I believe, in 1917. At least I found it in 1917 catalog from Graflex. They called it Graflex Fingerprint camera, and it was manufactured by former Graflex or former Schwinn. It was used to take pictures of fingerprints, and it was used in police departments, and it was also used to take one-to-one copies of, let's say, photographs or small documents. Let's get into more details. As you can see, it is a large camera. It measures about 12 inches long by 6-7 inches square. It takes 2x3 photographs of anything you put in front of it. Okay, it is pre-focused at one point, so you cannot take landscapes or portraits or anything else with it. It's just set for one thing that it's supposed to do: fingerprints. And let me show you how this worked. So basically, you have this monstrous contraption, and it has a back. This happens to be graphic pack adapter, but it's, of course, is empty. And the way you would remove it, you just slide this tab up, and the back would come off. You can see the size of the frame. Actually, this is the size for the adapter, and the size of the actual picture is in front of it. The camera actually opens into several compartments. So let's start with the front. You see this metal plate here. In order to pop it open, there's a little nipple here. You press that down. You press that, and the hatch swings open. As you can see, what you would do is take the card that you're trying to photograph, and you would put it here, or put this camera down like this on the card, and you would press the trigger, the shutter release, which is right over here. And there's two settings. There's time, and there's instantaneous. The time, you don't change anything, you just bring the shutter lever down to letter T, and that opens the shutter for whatever time you want. And if you push it all the way down, it takes picture with a speed of about 1/50th, 1/30th, thereabouts. Furthermore, there's another nipple button here. You push that, another hatch opens. And what have you here? What are these white globes in there? Those, ladies and gentlemen, are actually little light bulbs. They are General Electric number 13. They call them Mazda light bulbs. I only have 2. They're really hard to find. The camera takes 4. And what would happen is, as you would press the shutter down, and I'll later show you how this mechanism worked. As you would press the shutter down, it would trigger the battery, and the electricity would pass through the light bulbs, and it would illuminate the fingerprint card or the object that you're trying to photograph, which in this case would be either a fingerprint card or a piece of document or picture that you're trying to duplicate on the other end. There's yet another button on the side of the camera, which is here, and if I press that, the whole back swings open. So you have this and you have this. And in here you can see the shutter mechanism, and you can see the battery compartment. So let me demonstrate the shutter time, and then instantaneous. And as you can see, there are brass or copper plates here. So what happens is I press the shutter down, it actually touches the brass plate, completes the circuit, and makes the lights turn on in the camera. The battery that they were using is called number 789. I don't know what kind of battery that is. And it's if it exists, it's probably hard to obtain, or they could be very expensive. I didn't even try looking for them. But according to the catalog from 1917, they weigh only 5 pounds. So it's not a big deal. 5-pound battery, yeah. It's just a light battery. The circuit will be completed, and the lights would be illuminated, and you take a picture. There's yet another cool part of this camera. Over here, there's a little lever, a little tiny lever. I push that lever down, and I pull a little drawer. That drawer has holes, threaded holes for 6 additional light bulbs. And if everything was fine, they would be here, but apparently they're not. They got lost, or they were used, and they came without it. So this is a little nifty compartment to keep the extra bulbs if you have them. So it just basically slides in here. And then you close the little latch so the compartment doesn't slide out. This camera is in pretty good condition for its age, and I don't know if it's actually from 1917. I know it was introduced in around 1917. This could be later model, because of the nameplate on it actually reads fingerprint camera manufactured by Graflex Incorporated. Before it was Formel, Graflex, Formel, Schwinn. Graflex, Formel Graflex was actually bought by Kodak in, I believe, 1904 and 1907. And then the name changed eventually to Graflex. The leather, the finish on this camera is in very good condition. The strap itself is solid, no tears. So this must have been kept in really really good environment where not much humidity, or it was kept away from light, from heat, from cold. I don't know. I believe this one came from California. Comparing the prices out there, $400 or $500 that people want for these cameras, I paid 1/10 of that, which is not bad. And it was a gamble. The person that was selling it didn't show pictures of it opened. I don't think they even realized how to open this camera, so my gain. But like I said, I don't plan to use this for anything other than display, or other than for bragging rights. This camera is just good at what it's supposed to be doing, taking one-to-one photographs. I did order additional Graflex cassettes, which would fit this camera, and they're 2x3. So I'll see if they actually do fit when they show up in a couple days. There's nothing else I can say about it. The catalog even was very quiet about any features, because if you really look at it, this camera doesn't have many features. It's a simple camera. It just takes photographs one-to-one. It doesn't focus. There's no focusing. It's kind of like a big box camera focused at a certain distance, and that's it. The lens in this camera is a Kodak Astigmat 6.3. It's 75 or 77 rather millimeter long, or focal length of the lens is 77 millimeter. In this particular example, the lens is pretty clean, and it would probably produce good images. But like I said, I'm not gonna shoot this camera. It's just a cool looking thing. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this short overview of Graflex Fingerprint camera. It is a new addition to my camera family. Stay tuned for more overviews of different cameras. There's one coming up, an overview of Okako Valtax, which is a Japanese folding 4.5 by 6 centimeter camera. So stay tuned for that, and until next time, keep shooting film, keep the film alive.